Hi, I'm Andy Johnston, Senior Vice President of Strategic Initiatives for your Grand Rapids Chamber. I'm pleased to be joined today by the new President and CEO of Rockford, Shane Napper. Thanks for joining us today, Shane.
Thank you.
New to the role, but not new to Rockford, right?
Yeah, no, thanks. I've been at Rockford for 28 years, and so it's been a great ride. I got to do a lot of stuff in the field, learn a lot of things along the way, and then took my president role about 8 years ago, and then end of the year, first of this year, took over as CEO.
Oh, that's awesome. And
great.
And what do you love about the industry?
You can see what comes, right? The industry is really about the built environment, and so you do all this planning, you figure all this stuff out, and then eventually, look around town. You get to see the things that are done. So at the end of the day, it's one of those jobs that so satisfying that you can deliver something and then you can watch people use it for its intended use.
And Rockford's had a hand in some of the biggest projects that have helped really make Grand Rapids what it is today.
Yeah. We've enjoyed a lot of things. I mean, back to, 20 years ago now, it's hard to imagine 20 years ago,
Right.
but back to the start of the Grand Rapids Art Museum or the JW Marriott, to a lot of projects in between, what we did with Michigan State, with the Grand Rapids Innovation Park there up on Michigan, to the stuff that's happened on the west side, including putting our office there, and now being involved in things like the soccer stadium. It's been, and a ton of things in between. And
Yeah.
it's just a ton of things in between. It's been quite a ride.
And we were talking earlier, you said, there's a building downtown. I've probably been inside of it somewhere.
It has.
Know where the tunnel systems are, all
Yeah,
that.
so I love this town, right? I mean, this is a city and a town that's very, very special, and I think we should treat it as such, but we also got to protect it. And one of the things that brings a lot of joy to me is, growing up in this industry. I did my first project downtown in 2004, so this is 21 years of being around downtown, in downtown, touching something, even to the point when we did the Amway Grant and, put glass around and reclad that whole thing. But before I ever worked on the cladding, we worked on a lot of other things downtown, and yeah, I got the chance to crawl through, figure out what's going on with the steam system, what's going on with the sewer system, how do we connect things. So it's been a good time.
Yeah, and remind us, how long ago was it that Rockford put the headquarters downtown on the west side?
Yeah, we're almost been there almost 10 years.
It's
Actually,
incredible.
a little over 10 years.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
And then to watch that neighborhood build up almost around you, or be one of those key investments, and then you've helped build that section of town too.
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, what we'll say over there obviously is, west side is the best side, but to watch a part of our community that's had a lot of amazing history, right? That's way back to supporting the lumber industry, furniture industry, but to now come back on the west side and take some buildings that were not being used, taking some others that had been really mistreated and or had some deliveries that, really didn't fit in the fabric of the city.
Right.
And to take those and, it's a commitment both ways. One, it's a commitment of putting your office there and bringing your team members there, but it's also a commitment to invest in the buildings around. So to see the Bridge Street Market and get some grocery on the west side, to see how many housing units have come online, with future housing units to come online and all of that.
Yeah.
Pretty incredible, pretty fun.
And the next big thing on the west side is the soccer stadium.
Yes, sir.
What's the status update? How's the project going?
It's going great. If you've been around it lately, you'll see we're moving dirt. It's
a lot of dirt being moved, yeah.
A lot of dirt, because one of the things with the stadium is we're vacating a street, and under that street is a lot of utilities. And so a lot of the first part of our project is about getting the infrastructure, making sure things are done. You'll see work happening on Mount Vernon. You see lots of things, and it's all to really prepare ourselves to start going vertical here pretty soon. But things are going great.
Oh, that's fantastic. You mentioned the recladding of the Amway Tower. What were some of the challenges with that project?
Well, one, we wanted to keep most of it occupied. And so with every piece of real estate, and this would be true for any piece of real estate, once you have it up and going, the people that pay for the real estate are the things that happen inside.
Right.
And so for any project we do, specifically asking about the Amway Grand, we had to find a way that we could work on that where it was safe, is efficient, both from a time and a cost perspective, but also make sure it turned into the product that it is, that it's now another long-term facade system. But how do we do that, and how did we work with AHC to make sure, how do they get guests in? How do they get guests out? How do conventions still happen? And if you notice, we started at the top, which is very unique. Most people start at the bottom, but one of the big deals about starting at the top is so we could get the restaurant done. So if you've been to MDRD, fabulous spot. I would argue you want to go look up and down the river.
That's the spot. Yeah.
That's a great spot to sit. But that was all put together with the ability of how do we get that open the fastest so we can keep people using the spaces downtown.
Is that where you sit up in Madrid to watch how things are going with the soccer stadium?
If I need to, yeah. I can see a lot from up there.
So now that you've taken over, you've been with Rockford for a long time, and now as president and CEO, what excites you most about where Rockford's heading?
Growth. So a couple things I would say. One, Grand Rapids is home, and we don't plan on going anywhere. And so our commitment to community here, our commitment to this, working with people like yourself at the Chamber, we've made great strides. And we've had a lot of people in front of us that have made great strides. So to be on their shoulders and to move forward, I'm pretty excited about that. But growth is key. I kind of look at it through the lens of if you're not growing, you're dying.
Right.
And I think that's true for our city. I think that's true for our businesses in the city. I think that's true for a lot of things that we do. So one of the things you're going to see from Rockford, you saw our rebrand come out, but one of the things you're going to see is we're going to continue to grow. And we're going to do that by growing our expertise just a little bit deeper and a little bit more refined. We're also going to continue to grow regionally. So you're going to see some announcements from us probably end of this year, beginning of next year about what's next for Rockford as we continue to grow across the region.
So no breaking news now, just
no breaking news.
Stay tuned.
Other than the breaking news is we are going to grow regionally. And so I think a lot of, sometimes that's a little bit of a news where it's like, okay, what is Rockford really doing? So I just want to be clear. What we're doing is home is Grand Rapids. This is the key. This is the headquarters. This is what we support. But now we have the ability to go expand regionally. We already have our office in Detroit. We already have our office in Fort Myers area of Florida. And so we're looking to continue to add some hubs, and those will continue to help us grow. Again, both helps us grow in those communities, but the part people I think sometimes forget, it also helps us bring some of those resources back to Grand Rapids,
right?
Which is going to help continue to promote and do what we're doing.
Yeah, we're all about community vibrancy at the Chamber, and when I think about community vibrancy, it's about growth. It's about being a great place to raise your family, have a career here, and it's exciting to think about what Grand Rapids is going to be like in another 5, 10, 20 years of keeping this momentum going. The soccer stadium is one of those key pieces, but so many projects that Rockford has done over the years have contributed to where we are. It just, as we talked about kicking off, thinking about where we started 20 years ago plus, and now it's exciting to think that, our kids and grandkids might go, wow, Grand Rapids is really boring in 2025.
It's crazy. One of the little stories I tell quickly is, so when I was a kid, my grandmother and grandfather lived downtown. And they lived
that must have been surprising for some, right?
It was very surprising that they lived just off a diamond.
Okay.
And so when we would come to visit them, we would drive straight to their house.
Yeah.
And we would drive straight home. There wasn't really much to go to. And so growing up, that was the big deal. And then the big event was to come see the Shriner Circus downtown. And so that was kind of like the big town. And my grandmother put me on the double-decker bus. Most people don't remember, but we used to have a double-decker bus downtown. And that used to move people around. And that was one of the things you could see what was going on. But we go on the double-decker bus, go to the Shriner Circus, and leave. That was my experience as a young person. Now coming back, being in this industry, the experience to come downtown, and the first big piece that I remember coming around was the Van Andel Arena. And you think back to even Grand Action 1.0, and as I said before, thinking about the people that came before us, what Grand Action 1.0 did and bringing on things like Van Andel, and then look at what that spurred around. Just amazing development in all of those pieces and parts. And I think what Grand Action 2.0, for instance, is doing, same type of delivery. What the Chamber does, same type of delivery. It's all about community vibrancy, and
Yeah.
it's amazing.
And when you're attending a soccer game in the future, there's going to be a lot more to do in addition to going to the soccer game.
So
You have
true.
things to do on Bridge Street, downtown. Really make a whole day
Everywhere. Yeah.
make a whole day out of it. And hopefully people, talking about bringing investment in, hopefully people are traveling from far and wide to come in here, spend a lot of money with
That's
our member
right.
businesses here.
That's right.
And leave it here. So you've taken over the role of president and CEO. When it comes to leadership, what's some great advice you've heard or maybe internalized along the way?
Yeah, I think a couple things, right? I think a couple that I live by is one, I'm a very transparent, professionally transparency, I call it. I'm not looking for people to bring their whole self to work. I'm looking for them to bring their best selves to work. And so my challenge to myself is, how do I wake up every day to show the example of what it means to bring your best self to work? And I think if we did that in everything that we do, just this mindset, we're not going to be perfect, right? We all have our hiccups, but boy, could we really, really focus on, okay, I'm coming into this zone today. How can I be my best self in that zone? So that's one bit of advice. The other one is, and it seems like interesting leadership advice, but I got it way back when I was not a leader. But it has applied big time, and that is early on in my career, my second year, a Mason told me, Shane, you need to learn how to hide your goat. And that goat is not how some of the young people think about it today as the best that's ever played.
Greatest of all time.
Greatest of all time, right? Like Tom Brady or something like that. This was not that. This was the idea that there used to be this terminology of somebody got you going and got your goat, and got you saying something that you really were not very proud of, or doing something you were not very proud of. They would say they got your goat. This Mason said, Shane, you got to find a way to hide your goat. So I've used that now through the rest of my career, and now in this leadership position, which is, look, if we're going to sit down and talk about something, that's great. But I'm not going to let them get my goat. Let's just put the goat away, because it allows us then to have a very collaborative, understood, honest dialogue, of which then I don't let my personal pieces get going. Those two together. So bring your best self, best transparent professional self, and be involved, and then not letting people get your goat, but just kind of be part of it. Those are two that I live by pretty close.
Well, Shane, congratulations on
you.
being
I
named
appreciate
president
it.
and CEO. Great words of advice to live by. Thanks for bringing your best professional self
thank you.
to work every day for the benefit of Rockford, but really for the benefit of our whole community.
Thank
we
you.
really appreciate it.
And I want to thank you. I think that what the Chamber continues to do for this community, I think plays a role into it. I absolutely love it. I think about how you have stepped up at the city and different meetings and supported all your members. So keep up the great work. Thanks for the invite, and look forward to what's next.
Yeah, speaking of what's next, you can stay in touch with what the Chamber is doing at our website, grandrapids.org. Be sure to sign up for our newsletters. We appreciate all your investment in the Chamber as we work to create a thriving and prosperous West Michigan for all. Thank you.